overcome social anxiety. So before making this video, fear came up with all the usual excuses. Does this sound familiar? I just don't quite feel in the mood for doing a live stream. It'd be so much easier just to watch Netflix, relax, put my feet up. How about I just chill out tonight, not face my fears? That's the voice of fear. Now, me doing this live stream is me overcoming that little bit of inner resistance. And the same inner resistance is at play in every single person, in social situations, and when it comes to exercising. So I did a workout earlier today, which was fantastic. A bit of time on the treadmill, on a bike, and some strength training. And just before working out, I had the exact same sequence of feelings. First, I felt like I wasn't in the mood, a bit groggy, don't feel like working out today, could do the day off. The anticipation, right? The anticipation phase. Then I go to the gym and I warm up into the workout. Now I'm doing it, it's way better than the fear before I was doing it. The anticipation, the fear of actually doing something is so much worse than actually doing that thing. So when I was actually doing it, I got into it, really enjoyed it, and then felt great afterwards. It's the exact same sequence of feelings when you go to social situations, social events. Before you go, you feel nervous because you're a human. And then when you're actually there, you realize that it's not that bad. Maybe it's not an absolute dream, but it's not the horror story that your brain made it out to be. Then you come away and you're happy that you actually went. Just the same whether you're going for a workout or going to a social event. So really, exercising is you winning the battle of you versus yourself. Ultimately, that's what it is. Your own fear will try and come up with a way to talk you out of exercising. It'll say, it's a bit cold outside, it's rainy, don't quite feel like it today, you need a rest. It's an excuse. And fear tries to protect you, right? So it's doing it because it wants to protect you, but ultimately it's stopping you from taking action that's going to move you forwards in life. It's keeping you stuck. The exact same excuses come up before social functions. So what I learned about exercising and doing cardio is that you get to experience that same sequence of events and beat the excuses that fear makes on a regular basis by consistently exercising. And when you regularly beat the exact same pattern of fear, the exact same emotions, the exact same feelings, you realize that you don't have to be afraid to be afraid. It's okay to feel nerves before you go to an event of some kinds. You're meant to. You always enjoy it when you're there and feel better afterwards. So you stop judging yourself. And because you've beat it so many times in the context of exercising, it's way easier to beat it in a social context because you've got that experience. And you also build a nice momentum when you start to train on a regular basis. The first time you go, you're probably going to feel a bit groggy. But after you've been going for a while, you have so much momentum that it's easier and easier to keep on going. The danger then is sticking to a workout for 2 to 3 months and then stopping, which is a pattern that many people fall into. I used to fall into that pattern as well. So many times in the past where I started to exercise, for 3 months, kept it up, and then faded away. And I realized that it's because my motivation wasn't strong enough. And what you actually need is a motivation which is bigger than your own ego. Something which is going to stand the test of time, allow you to weather the storm, and when life throws challenges, you're not going to be put off. And for me personally, when I realized that, okay, I want to get myself fit and healthy, but it's not just for me, it's so that I'm better at coaching other people and helping them out through my business. As soon as that was the motivation, that was 2.5 years ago, I've been consistently training since then. So I've kept it up. And it's because I had that motivation bigger than my own ego. The second thing which helped me out as well is accountability. So my parents bought me a sports watch, a Fitbit sports watch, and I could see my resting heart rate on the monitor. And when I first got the sports watch, it was way too high for someone in their mid-20s. It was high 80s, like 88 beats per minute, something like that, which isn't great. So because I had this Fitbit sports watch, I could see that when I was exercising, doing cardio and eating healthy, my resting heart rate was slowly climbing down. Of course, sometimes it went up, but the general trajectory was decreasing over time. And because it's like a truth test and it's not lying to me, it's giving me numbers. I knew that I couldn't cheat. I couldn't take a shortcut because the Fitbit would tell me that I'm taking a shortcut. So there's no hiding, no getting away with it. This helped me stick to training on a regular basis for 2.5 years already. And I'm loving the training, get a real buzz from it, really enjoy it. And that's really the secret to sticking to something long enough to get results. Accountability and a motivation bigger than your own ego. A really strong motivation. And it's actually the exact same formula that helped my dad get fitter and healthier. So 1 year ago, he had a heart attack just before last Christmas, actually. And basically, the doctors told him that he has to eat way healthier. So they gave him strict instructions to eat super healthy. So he had that strong motivation. And they also gave him a set of electronic scales and told him to weigh himself every single day on these scales and log it. The scales act as the accountability, so he can see that if he's not been on his best behavior when it comes to diet for the past week, he can see the numbers creeping up. And if he's done things properly, he can see the numbers going down. So the strong motivation and accountability has helped him make a massive progress. Been eating healthy for almost a full year now and goes to the gym as well. So they're the two key things that you have to have in place to really stick to something. And what I figured out, which is really interesting, there's a certain point which you pass when you've been training for a while. It might be 6 months in some people, it might be a year in other people. And when you pass this point, you've made so much progress that there's actually no going back. You're in a position where it's actually harder to stop training than continue because you've got these results now and you're not going to throw away all the progress that you've made. And this is a fantastic point to pass because now it's a lifelong thing. Now you're fully committed, you're not turning back, and you can crack on and make further progress. But the key thing is it's having the motivation and accountability to get to this point where it's easier to carry on training than stop. That's the hard thing. Something which so many people struggle to do. And what I figured out is that because you face the exact same sequence of emotions when you're going to the gym, that I'm just not in the mood today feeling, the anticipation before you go, and then that buzz when you're taking the action and grafting, then the good feeling afterwards. Because you face the exact same sequence of emotions, you get to practice beating the battle, winning the battle of you versus yourself, which is the biggest battle in your whole life. And this is the same as overcoming social anxiety. And the two things go hand in hand. If you start to get fitter and healthier, the confidence you get from that bleeds over into social situations. Firstly, on a very obvious, simple, logical level, aesthetically, if you look better, you're more trim, you're going to feel better, you're going to be more confident. So, of course, on that level alone, it's going to help you out. But it's a lot deeper than that. You observing yourself, coming up with a goal and consistently taking action on that goal over a long period of time, that's life-changing. That's going to give you so much confidence. So confidence is your belief in your ability to succeed at achieving a goal that you set your mind to. And what this means is that there's a weight to your thoughts. And what I mean by there's a weight to your thoughts is that your thoughts actually mean something. When you say something, you're actually going to do it. When you think something, you're actually going to achieve it and create it in reality. You're not someone that sets yourself a goal and backs away from it. You're someone that cracks on, keeps on going, finds that inner strength and relentlessly grafts away until they achieve it. That's a successful person. And you've seen yourself stick to a habit on a regular basis over a long period of time. That's going to give you so much confidence because you realize that it's discipline. You can apply the exact same process to achieve success in other areas of life. If you wanted to make progress in your career, your business, you can have the same mindset. If you want to make progress in your social life, it's the same mindset. You want to meet someone nice, same mindset. Because you can see yourself and follow through, you know that you're someone that's going to succeed. And if you go back to hunter-gatherer times, it wasn't necessarily easy to go out there and hunt and get food. It was a battle. And someone that consistently showed up, consistently took action, and just carried on going on a long-term basis, that's the kind of person that's going to bring food home for the group. So when you're acting in this way in your life, you're basically mimicking success in those times, which is where we spent most of our evolution. And what that means is that you're going to feel good. So I believe that we have inbuilt reward systems. And when we act in a way which would have equated to success in our evolutionary history, the reward systems go off to say, keep on doing this. This is what you have to do. You're on the right path. There's a good feeling there. And you get the same feeling when you behave in this way in modern times because we're still built the same, we're still wired the same. The DNA hasn't changed that much despite society changing. Despite, cultural evolution, we're still the same chimps. So what this means is that when you stick to something for a long-term basis, internal reward systems kick in and it makes you feel good. And interestingly, a lesson that I learned from my improv comedy teacher. So I do improv comedy as a hobby. And what this guy said is that in an improv scene or a social situation, there's only two stances you can take. You can either be someone who is taking energy from the group, someone who's reducing the vibe, or someone that's giving energy and uplifting the group. There's no neutral position, it's one or the other. So your ability to give is really, really important. And if you're in a better mood because you're working on your health and fitness and making progress, you're going to be in a better position to give when you're in social situations. As simple as it sounds, being in a better mood makes you more confident. And something else which I've also learned from my experience, which is a cool little trick in case you didn't know. So if you have a social event coming up at some point in a day, for example, it could be a job interview, it might be a birthday party, could be anything. If you do some cardio prior to that event, you always perform better when you're actually there. Especially if you push yourself to that point of mild suffering in the workout. The endorphins kick in, you feel really awake, more awake than you would do after drinking some coffee, and you're just ready to go and sharp. So exercise makes you perform better in social situations. So it makes a massive difference to your confidence. You're beating the exact same fears associated with social anxiety, and you're also performing better in social situations. And because exercise and overcoming social anxiety go hand in hand so well, I encourage every single client of mine to do cardio at least twice a week. And going to the gym's great, running's great, but if you're really interested in overcoming social anxiety and you want to know what exercise is best, or what you want ideas for what you should do, I'd recommend exercise classes. So I'm personally a big fan of exercise classes. Yesterday, I went to a couple of circuit training classes at my local sport and fitness centre. Really, really enjoyed them. The good thing about the classes is that it's a semi-social environment and you get to know people there. And also you push yourself further than you would do if you was training by yourself. This is because you've got the other people that are also training and an instructor. So the workout's going to be of a high quality because of the instructor and other people around you, and you're going to bring your A game as well. And you're going to be facing some social fears at the exact same time, the same sequence of emotions, the anticipation, the event itself, and then the post-event stage. So what I would recommend if you're someone that has social anxiety, as simple as it sounds, you have to get around people. And if you're someone with extreme social anxiety at a high level, even going to the gym is a great start. There's going to be a crowd of people there and exercising with people around. I know that intimidates some people. So going to the gym is a great start. Exercise classes are even better because you're going to get to know people there and you're going to be pushing yourself more. So these are fantastic ways to start building that momentum. And the more you build the momentum, the better you get. And you get that transferable confidence from the exercise that you can bring into social situations and vice versa. So exercise is massive and something which you can do. You can even, if you want to take it to quite an extreme level, you can purposely bring up your own insecurities, triggers, fears, and challenges when you're exercising so that you're you're basically treating it as training for you versus yourself. You're bringing up the things in life which you're afraid of, and you're not letting that stop you from taking action. So if you're on the treadmill, you can bring up your own inner demons and just run. Not let them get in the way, not let them stop you. You can be mentally facing your fear in that moment, which is something that can be pretty powerful. And if you're someone that's into visualization and you're obsessed with law of attraction and getting your focus right to improve your chances of achieving particular goals, it's also a fantastic time to get present and connect to your vision. And you can literally use your vision as the motivation to push past the inner resistance when you're on the treadmill, on the bike. So that's like a micro version of you achieving a goal in life. You're overcoming the inner blocks and resistance towards achieving that goal. And you're doing that on a micro level, so maybe in the space of half an hour on a treadmill. And that's to prove to yourself that you can beat these challenges and give you confidence in achieving a long-term goal. So connecting to your vision while doing cardio and allowing that vision to push yourself past those points of resistance is quite a powerful activity that you can do. So how I personally progressed in exercising. So I started out doing 2 pay-as-you-go circuit training classes every week at my local sport and fitness centre. So I enjoyed the circuit training classes because there's a variety of exercises. So you're doing press-ups 1 minute, shuttle runs, sit-ups, tricep dips, a whole bunch of different things. And I would do a class on a Tuesday and a class on a Friday. And after keeping this up for about 3 months, I decided that I wanted to get even fitter and healthier. So I became a member of this gym. And once I paid for the membership, I'd committed to training more, financially committed. So I'd snookered myself and put myself in a position where I'd paid for a year, so I'd best get my money's worth and go to more classes. I started to experiment by adding new classes to my weekly schedule. So I still did the circuits, but added the odd extra class here and there. I tried things like body combat, HIIT training classes, grit, RPM classes where you're on the bike, all these different things. And got to a stage where I was training 4 to 5 times a week and progressed further from there. I started to do other classes and also go to the gym. So what I would recommend to someone that's starting out, cardio twice a week is a great starting point. If you don't have much of a budget, you can take up running. There's free running events every single Saturday if you want to run in a group. Park run, just Google park run, and you'll see a 5K run taking place somewhere quite near you. And 5K is not that long. You've probably heard the term couch to 5K, but 5K is something which most people can do in around half an hour or less. So it's not too crazy. And cardio twice a week is a great starting point. And if you're feeling hungry to do more exercise, after keeping that up for 3 months, you can start to add more in. And this ensures that you're ready to exercise more. You're not going to bite off more than you can chew. You're aware of how much time you have in your weekly schedule, and you're finding a balance which is good for you. At the same time as doing the cardio, I would advise going to a couple of social events every single week. And if you're thinking, what social event should I go to? You can always download the app Meetup or go on meetup.com, go on the website. There's free socials going on on a regular basis. And of course, you can go to classes that interest you and pursue your hobbies, ones that are sociable. So a few socials a week and a few workouts a week is a fantastic starting point. And if you just do this alone, in 3 months' time, you'll be tangibly more confident. If you met someone before and after those 3 months, there's quite a noticeable difference in how that person talks, their body language, the conviction in what they're saying, because there's so much momentum that they've built up. They're in a different place. So when you're in the swing of things and you're in the flow of it, the anticipation is reduced. So the nerves before going to an event is smaller. The nerves when you're there are smaller, and you feel fine afterwards. You learn not to judge yourself, not to let the ego kick in. So the two things go hand in hand, and doing both together is a great way to make progress. So I'm trying to think if I have any other content on this particular topic of why exercising is so good for social anxiety. I'm trying to think if there's any other suggestions that I have. I feel like I've covered the main points. So the main points are that the same sequence of feelings occur whether you're exercising or going to a social event. The I'm not in the mood feeling before the exercise or the event, and then when you're there, sometimes fear gets in the way and tries to say, let's just do a quick workout, get in and out. Let's not do the pull-ups and press-ups. Let's do a shorter workout. So it tries to find a way to pull you out of the situation when you're there. So you have to not panic and see it through, and then feel good afterwards. Don't make the mistake of beating yourself up and judging yourself afterwards. Be proud of yourself for actually turning up and facing your fear, and just keep on going. And because you're making progress with the cardio, and you'll see yourself making progress with the social confidence, you'll be motivated to carry on going further and further and further. And once you pass that critical point where it's easier to carry on than stop, you've cracked it. And the two factors that allow you to stick to something long enough to get results are, firstly, having a strong motivation, which is bigger than your own ego. And secondly, accountability. And if you would like me to personally coach you and help you out in both of these areas of life, help you stick to your health and fitness goals, and coach you on developing confidence in social situations, send me an email, philmorrison678@gmail.com. I currently offer 1 hour pay-as-you-go Zoom coaching sessions where I help you out beat these fears, become accountable, and start to get real results. Stop listening to the gimmicks out there. The best shortcut to know is that there's no shortcut. The answer to your problems is stuff that you already know. So it's not some crazy thing that you've never heard of before. You don't have to meditate to release inner blocks and listen to binaural beats. Facing fears, being honest, getting fit and healthy, always improving over time. It's getting the simple things right. So if you're interested, don't hesitate to email me and we can have a chat so that you can see if I'm someone that you want to work with, and also vice versa. I can check if you're someone that I can help out. So I don't take on people that aren't committed, and I don't take on people who I don't believe I can help out for whatever reason. So, because otherwise that would reduce my confidence in my coaching. So I make sure that you're a good fit for the coaching itself. So I hope you got value from this live stream. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email, ask me, and I'm happy to help out. Bye.